Good morning, folks, and happy Thursday. We have a flippin' busy day ahead of us, but we got some good news this morning. It's definitely some good news to help us motivate ourselves through this day. What news? What news, BillyGoat? He confirmed the fight. December 13th, we are back in the cage. Maybe. I'm not gonna get excited about anything. But it is a good thing to wake up to. You roll over, you open your phone, you see a text from coach that says fight confirmed. Now that's the way to end a week, folks. That's the way to start a morning. Let's finish our French toast, drink a little bit more of this protein coffee, and get on out the door. Go get better today than we were yesterday. Finally out of the door and headed to go pump some iron or rubber because they're all bumper plates. But you know, the thing that sucks the most about chasing your dreams, and something that a lot of people don't tell you, is you lose a lot of time with the folks you love. Definitely when your significant other is also chasing their dreams. It sucks. It really does suck. But in the end, we keep faith and we'll be able to live a long, happy life. And in our 30s, and our 40s, and our 50s, we'll be laying on a beach with 2 pina coladas in each hand. That's really not the goals. But we will be able to spend as much time with each other as we can. And all the things we learned throughout this journey and the riches we've gained and whatever it may be, you know, we'll be able to use those to hopefully help someone and be able to spend as much time with each other while doing the things we love to do. This is just stepping stones to get there. Let's see if this old beast wants to crank with all the abuse we've given her this week. We made it. Let's go move this rubber. Lift complete. And it was going great until it popped a little bit of a nagging injury. We didn't just stop. We finished the workout. We're going to go head on to jiu-jitsu since that's what we already had planned to do. And we'll head to Muay Thai and MMA. We'll just take it a little easier today than we traditionally would. Let people know, hey, this thing is hurting. And we'll move forward from there. I know we don't have to teach our morning class tomorrow, so we'll get a little bit of extra sleep in. And then we'll hit the recovery, get our runs in, and we'll deal with it tomorrow is pretty much what I'm getting at. We will deal with the nagging injury tomorrow. Right now, we gotta get to practice, so let's go get better today than we were yesterday. I'm really not surprised that we caught a little bit of an injury because with as high as our cortisol levels have been this week, and the little bit of sleep we have gotten to balance out those cortisol levels, it was bound to happen. Like, it happens once, maybe twice a year. But then again, I am training 4, 5, 6, sometimes 8 hours a day. So it is bound to happen. It is. Traditionally, it's not on our lifts that we get injured, but it is what it is. It was a weird movement. It was like a weird movement. I was pushing the weight up, and then I just heard a doo, or I felt a doo. I didn't hear anything. I just felt it. And I was like, oh, man. All right, let's finish up this workout, move a little bit slower. But what I didn't do is just stop. I wasn't gonna just stop. I was gonna finish my workout. Now, if a body part was hanging off, I probably would have stopped and went to the doctor. But because it's one of those injuries, I feel like I can't just go to the doctor and it's gonna heal it. It's just gonna be rest. Then we'll finish the workout. We won't continue to use the whole entire body. We will stabilize the lifts, work specific muscle groups, if that makes sense. Just lift a little bit smarter than traditional. Just like I'm gonna go train a little bit smarter than traditional right now, and then tonight, and then until I feel better, you know what I mean? So, with that being said, folks, don't be babies. Finish your exercises, even if you catch a little boo-boo throughout. And to my young athletes, if you get injured during practice, it doesn't mean you just go home, or you get injured that day, it doesn't mean you don't go to practice. Like, there's still things you can do to get better. Whether that's just watch technique or watch practice, you can still get better. You can go help out your team. You can move a little bit, I promise you. I promise. Traditionally. Now, there are some that, well, you can't. But if you're moving, why can't you go sit there and watch? That's not what I'm gonna go do, but why can't you? If you truly care about fitness and of your sport, that goes to both our athletes and our people trying to get into shape. But wouldn't you like want to do everything you can to get better at it, to grow a little bit, you know? So that means finishing up a workout when you tweak something, or if that means go into practice when you're injured. You want to find any avenue that you can be in that place if it's something you genuinely care about. That goes back to our prioritizing fitness, prioritizing the things that you really care about. Well, folks, we made it with like no time to spare. Let's head on here, pick our partners wisely today, and get better today than we were yesterday. We survived, folks, and honestly, I feel like we definitely got better today than we were yesterday. We chose our partners wisely, and we just slowed down everything. Kind of picked up on the little details that our athleticism lets us forget sometimes. So we can, I guess, find a positive in everything. If you know what I mean, folks, find a positive in everything. Let's head on home, see if we can get a little recovery in before we got to be back up and go teach our one-on-one and then be back here.
So we screwed up and didn't pack our lunch today, so figured we'd try out this little spot that we've been seeing every day.
So the past few days I had been seeing this place called Hoagie Bros, and I was like, man, I want to try it. And well, today we forgot our lunch, so we stopped by, tried it. They have literally any kind of sandwich you could think of, just about. And that Cuban sandwich was amazing. Probably one of the best Cuban sandwiches I ever had. And I don't feel like I'm like about to throw up from the Cuban sandwich. I feel nice and good. And traditionally a Cuban, oh, that'll tear your stomach up. But while I was sitting there grubbing down, I was trying to get the updates on everything that's going on with Jeff Nippard and Mike Van Wyck. And you know, the only thing I found is that Mike Van Wyck's community is probably the worst community of any community. Like, what kind of man, oh, this guy's talking bad about me, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna punch him in the face. What kind of man does that make you? Like, genuinely. And that's the only thing that I have found anyone saying, other than the few people who are like, bro, that's literally assault. He should be charged to the fullest extent for it. He should. You cannot walk up and just assault someone. You can't walk up and just punch people because they hurt your feelings. That's not how life works. You know what kind of man that makes you? A very weak man. Mike Van Wyck, you are a weak man. I don't care how much weight you can move. Up here, you're a weak man. Genuinely, Mike Van Wyck, you are a weak man. And that's coming from a fighter. Like, my job is to be violent. And you're walking up to people at the wrong time, a smaller guy, to do what? To punch him in the throat. I mean, technically, it wasn't a punch, but it's just the fact of it was hard enough for Jeff Nippard to go flying. That's you meant to cause damage by that. Just saying. Maybe you should learn to control your emotions, my friend. Control your emotions. Frustration isn't a bad thing. It's what you do with that frustrations. You know, what real men do is they talk about their disagreements and they come to an agreement in the middle somewhere. Because I don't think Jeff Nippard is all right. I mean, I think that dude could probably train a little bit more. And I don't think Mike Van Wyck is all right. He probably could come off the steroids a bit. You know what I mean? So there's a perfect medium there somewhere. But the perfect medium is not violence, folks. Violence gets you absolutely nowhere except in jail or possibly giving Jeff Nippard a whole bunch of money. So, Mike Van Wyck, do better, dude. And the ones who are saying that that is the definition, F around and find out, you also do better. Like, all of y'all. Joey Swoles would be very disappointed. But that's enough yapping. Let's get home. Mike Van Wyck, you're a weak man. Tell Jeff Nippard sorry. And tell your community that is not how you're supposed to react to people who hurt your feelings, buddy. Well, folks, we are finally home, and that was one toasty flippin' ride. I have what some would call swamp ass. Let's get inside, get our bag repacked for our next practice, slam a protein shake, and then take us a nap so that we can be a little recovered for this next session. Well, folks, our nap hit the spot. Let's slam this energy drink and get to our client's place. Alrighty, folks, we just made it to our client's place. Definitely thought we were going to be late there for a second, but we were not. And our old friend Caffeine kicked in just on time. So let's pull ourselves together, run in here and get our folks better today than they were yesterday. Training session went terrific, and my client kept going, you probably shouldn't go to practice, and I was like, I know I probably shouldn't, but what kind of leader would that make me? What kind of example would that make me if the first discomfort that I have, the little bit of injury, or whatever you want to call it, I don't go? Like, no, I tell you all to work through injuries. Find a way to do it. There's other ways. It doesn't just mean sit on your butt. There's other ways that you can still get some physical exercise in. So what are we gonna go do? We're gonna fly across the state of Georgia and go get better today than we were yesterday. Well, folks, when we left, our GPS said we were gonna make it on time, and we indeed did not. We are 30 minutes flipping late. 30 minutes. I am agitated, but let's go in here and get better today than we were yesterday. Better today than we were yesterday. Let's get on home and get some recovery in, finally. Well, folks, we are home safely, and Coach advised us that we should probably take off until we feel better. So I guess tomorrow we will wake up, see how we feel, and if we don't feel so hot, we will just go on a run. Showered up, cleaned up, and grubbed down. You know, I was gonna play some Black Ops 6 tonight since, you know, it comes out at 12 a.m., but we have got to take care of our bodies first and foremost, because, well, what are we if we don't take care of our bodies? Nothing. We're nothing without our bodies. So we're gonna ice up a bit, and if we indeed are still awake after we get done icing, we'll hop on. But if not, you can definitely catch the action tomorrow. We will be grinding through it tomorrow. I promise you, folks. Well, I promise you. We will be playing some Black Ops 6. But before we just wrap up our day, I guess I want to leave y'all with these words of advice. Life is not pain-free. It's not. And nothing that you want in life is going to just be smooth, steady, and straight flow. And sometimes you get a fight confirmation after you've been begging for a fight all year, getting an opponent that will actually pull through, and then you catch a nagging injury the day of, and it's like, dang, what are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna persevere and get through. That's what we're gonna do, you know? Sometimes you lose time with your significant other, and you're like, dang, I wish I could just stay in bed and lay in this warm bed since I didn't get to sleep with you last night. And instead, you get up, you persevere, you go knock out, you lift, you go to practice, and then you see each other at night. If you get to see each other that night. Sometimes you don't. And that's just the give and the take with doing the things you love to do. Wow, we're doing what we love to do. We're not going and flipping burgers. We don't always get to see each other. So anything in life is going to be a give or take. It's going to be a give or take, folks. You may be doing what you love, but you may not be able to get as much sleep as you want, much rest as you want. You may be doing what you love, but it takes a little bit more stress out of you than you want. But you're willing to stress about that than you are about someone's order at a fast food restaurant. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, just remember, everything has its gives and its takes, and it's not always brighter on the other side, I guess you could say. Guess you could say it that way. But with that being said, folks, we need to get over here, edit up this day, get this posted, and ice ourselves up. Good night, folks, and BillyGoat flippin' loves you.